Mic check, mic check.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. And so we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you. And for those people who have been subscribing, and we have had piles of people subscribing of late, it's nice to know we're being appreciated. So we really appreciate you. And for those old schoolers that are in the room, much love to you all. Thanks for the support. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the two big men that are fighting. That video will come straight after this one, talking Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua. But there's another big fight that is people talking is on, off, going to happen, not going to happen. That is with Canelo and Golovkin. Now, as you know, or may not know, Abel Sanchez is a regular on the channel. So you know that we are in regular contact with Abel Sanchez. I can't confirm that I've spoken to Abel Sanchez at the moment about this. And what I've been reading in the press, I read a lot of stuff about Golovkin thinking that Canelo cheated in the first fight. He's saying that he believed, well, this is what the press is saying. This is what I've read, and it's fleeting stuff I've read. Canelo cheated. He wasn't clean the first fight. Blah, 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 blah. From Canelo's side, if you remember when I first did a take on this story and they said that Canelo cheated, I said that we don't know the full report. We don't know how much of the sample it is that of clenbuterol, how much it was, you know, and then the story comes out that it was the cows. And look, the bottom line is this. I am not a chemist, and I know people in the past that have cheated, that have been considered to have cheated. And look, there is a significant difference between when before Canelo boxed Golovkin, he did look physically bigger. But does that mean he's a cheat? I don't know. The point is this, and the people are making a big fuss about it. Oh, clenbuterol, Canelo did this, he's a cheat, blah, blah, blah. The Golovkin's turned around and said, yeah, he's a cheat. Well, I have a few questions to ask. Why has it happened? Why has Golovkin now talked about the guy's a cheat? Why does he not mention, if he had those feelings after the first fight, did he not say, you know what? I'm not sure about this guy. I'd like to get him tested after the first fight. I'd like to get him tested because I'm not sure if this guy's legit. Why not? Why? Because, hey, it's a second fight. It's a whole load of money. The first fight's a load of money. The second fight's a lot of money. And let's be honest, this fight game's about a business, all right? So it's about people making money. Now, you've heard Abel Sanchez say up and down, left and right, We want to become unified, undisputed champion of the world. Okay, so if you talk to a lot of the Golovkin people out there, a lot of Golovkin fans will tell you, yeah, he beat Canelo. He beat Canelo. Yeah, he beat Canelo. Of course he beat Canelo. Canelo ran for 12 rounds. Golovkin won the fight. Okay. So I see a lot of people making a big fuss. Oh, Canelo, the last story I heard, this is not fact. This is not fact. What I heard is Canelo's going to be suspended until the 7th of May. That's the report that's come out, is that he's going to get suspended until May. If he gets suspended, so freaking what? Huh? Can't believe you're saying that. No, but check this a second. Billy Joe Saunders has pulled out of his fight with Martin Murray. Now, I don't know because I didn't watch the follow-up interviews. I heard some rumors that it was ticket sales. I heard some rumors that it was they were negotiating behind the scenes to fight Golovkin. Now, to me, Abel Sanchez for the longest while said, we want to become undisputed champion. So you want to be undisputed champion. This is the perfect opportunity for Golovkin and Saunders to fight. Move Canelo out of the way and let Golovkin and Saunders fight to find out who the undisputed champion of the middleweight division is. Simple. Simple. That's all you have to do. If the man's suspended, let the man be suspended. And let Golovkin and Saunders fight. Because I know what I'd rather fight. I'd rather see Saunders and Golovkin fight to make an undisputed middleweight champion. Why are we making such a fuss about... So, if you Golovkin fans believe that Canelo got beat, why do you want to see the second fight? Why are you rush to see the second fight? Here's an opportunity for your man to go on and become undisputed middleweight champion of the world. If I were Golovkin, I'd be saying, you know what? Okay, this fight, if this guy is going to be suspended, I'm going to talk to Saunders people. Let's make the fight happen. Saunders is out now. Let us get hand heel and let's fight in the summer for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. Why not? Get the fight done. Stop pussyfooting around. Hey, he might get suspended. And if he gets suspended, then the fight may get cancelled. So what? It's not for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world anyway. You have Joshua and Parker fighting for the, unify. The only belt that's left then is Deontay Wilder. We had Terence Crawford down lower weights, become undisputed champion. We have a female champion in Cecilia Braekhus, undisputed champion. Why do we have an undisputed middleweight champion? We have the opportunity in the Super 6, Super 8 tournament between Gasayev and Usyk to become undisputed champion. Why are people fart-arsing around with this Canelo situation? If he's a cheat, let the man serve his bat and ban the man, and let's get on with Saunders and Golovkin. Simple. I don't understand what the rocket science is about. All I don't understand what the problem is. I don't get it. So on Friday, if he's found to be guilty, then fine. But the sad thing about it is, if Canelo is innocent, he's still going to be titled as guilty. Because if the fight is actually made after this and he beats Golovkin, then people say he was a cheat. So the fight itself is marred around controversy. And the sad thing is, if the man is innocent, and I've been saying this for the longest while, that boxing is such a corrupt sport, and I'm saying it's such a corrupt sport that all you have to do is say this person cheated. You don't have to have any evidence. That man cheated. And that guy's career is tarred for life. Regardless if they didn't cheat, that guy's career is considered as a drug cheat for the rest of life. So for me, I just I just want to see undisputed champion. That's it, a middleweight for me. That's it. So, and then if Canelo, after he's served his ban, wants to come back, he can fight for the undisputed middleweight championship, or he can face one of the Charlo brothers or something. I don't know. But if he is genuinely guilty, then the man has to serve time. So let's move on. Make it unified bout and take it from there. Let me try and get this up so I can read what people are saying at the moment. I can't read a thing what people are saying. Oh, Gail, good evening. Good to see you in the room. Ingram, look forward to take your take on this mess. Loud and clear. Yep, I hope I am loud and clear. We hear you loud and clear across the pond. Thank you, Ingram. Where you at, chap? I'm here. Thank you very much. Oh, very nice. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. NBT Boxing. Is NBT Boxing? Says message for review. Hello. Yes, Jonathan. Beowulf Boxing. Hey, how you doing, brother? Tanaka plays. Good to see you. Yes, Daniel in the room. Azzy, my brother, how you doing? Golovkin can't accuse without proof. They could sue him. I heard the fight's worth 900 million. No way, it's off. What's up, brother? Love your work. Thank you very much, Benjamin. Canelo is innocent. Wish people would believe him. Hell yes, damn straight, Ingram. I much prefer a unification bout. Not talking wild in this. Sorry very much. One second. There we go. So yeah, that's really my thoughts on this. I mean, surely you all want to see unification bout, right? The guy who needs to do is Oscar De La Hoya. Canelo is only guy making him big fights right now, big money right now. Yes, that's very true. I would don't agree with that one. If they suspend the cash cow Canelo, I'll have some restored faith in boxing. It says NBT Boxing. Thank you so much for the donation. Yeah. If they do suspend Canelo, that would make a real mark in boxing. It really would. But it is ironic now that Canelo had that beef with that's poor choice of words. He had that situation with the WBC. He wouldn't fight for the WBC title, something like that. I don't know if that's a vendetta against him. Then he was going to fight for the WBC title. Then they patched everything up. I don't know. You know, sometimes in boxing, I just think, you know what? And maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes I think, you know what? You won't pay your sanctioning fees. I'm not saying this is Canelo. You won't pay your sanctioning fees. You won't take the fight I want you to take. You won't give me a cut of the money. And I always think it's to do money. You won't do this for me. You won't do that for me. Right. That's it. I've got some powerful people that can bring your name down and just say you're a drug cheat. And then you're finished. Believe me, you're finished. And the next minute, somebody comes up in media, somebody's a drug cheat, and then us, the unknowing boxing fans and public, hear it out and say, oh, yeah, he's a drug cheat. And that's it. And, you know, it's not far-fetched for stuff like this to happen. It happens in the world generally, not just boxing. It's called smearing. And there are smear campaigns. There are people who genuinely are drug cheats. You know? And there are other people that you wonder, you know, really? MBT in the building. Hello, MBT. That's what people are saying now. Wow. You're going to have to give me some time to get through this. Isn't Canelo already in year-round VADA testing? I thought so too. No, Canelo isn't with VADA. Clive Boutrin can't help you for a month before fight, says Benjamin. Only year-round testing in the UK. Okay. Nope. That's why he didn't want to fight for the WBC. Okay. Good evening. How you doing? I hope you're well. Tanaka says the big cash cows need to stop holding the belts to ransom. Okay. And Blue Troll, I'll help you anytime in training. Canelo, guaranteed clean though. Anything else is crazy. I feel positive that he will be found innocent when the hearing comes around, and anything else would surprise me big time. Well, yeah, I guess so, because there's so much money on the table. Money or unification? Ingram, why don't you create a Patreon account? I'd support you on there. Yeah, but I want to give you something that you really want to support. So just bear with me a second. We've got something that you're really going to want to get behind. So just Be with us a little longer, and that patron will come out, I'm sure. But thank you. Canelo has been on the juice all the time, apart from the Mayweather fight. Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't think you need to. No disrespect to Amir Khan, but I really don't think you need to be on performance enhancing drugs to knock Amir Khan out. Just saying. Well, does anyone else know how long clenbuterol stays in your system? Ask a drug user, Deg. No. Jonathan, no. Canelo is not with year-round VADA. There are only 2 fighters enrolled year-round. Nonita Denier and Edwin Rodriguez. Well, that's nice. We Degree says, Canelo's effed if fight goes ahead anyway. If he wins, clean. If he loses, clean. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. I said it. Canelo's career is done. It's done. I don't mean it from a physical standpoint. As an athlete, he's done. He's finished. Because whatever he does from this point onwards, drug cheat. And that's going to stain him. You remember when the stories came out about Roy Jones Jr., Evander Holyfield, James Toney? That's 3 fighters already. Look. Lucas Brown the other weekend got his ass handed to him. The only thing that was missing in the room in the ring with him was a pillow. He got his ass handed to him. What are people saying? Lucas Brown forgot the PEDs. Lucas Brown looked ordinary. I mean, Lucas Brown was never the greatest boxer in the first place. But he looked even more terrible against Dillian White. Was that because of PEDs? PEDs don't give you better boxing skills. Certainly not. If you can't box, you can't box. I don't care how many PEDs you got in your system. If you can't box, you can't box. But if you can box, and you are highly skilled, and you got PEDs in your system, hey, you're real dangerous. You're real dangerous. Gail said, if you're thinking about the WBC clean boxing program, the WBC doesn't have enough money to test more than once or twice a year. It's better than nothing, but it's not year-round VADA testing. Interesting. Think about it. All ginger people you've met are liars. As for Golden Boy, this Adelaide bird is just a wee hustle. Interesting, Fraser. Liked it. Fraser, that's gingerism. Yeah, we can't be having calling everyone it's a ginger or a liar. No, I can't be having that. Sorry. Hey, Fraser, that's blatant ginger hate. AL says, Canelo messed up with his Peds cycle. There's no conspiracy. I think Canelo started doping after Mayweather lost. I heard the same thing about Klitschko, actually. When Klitschko got beat by... Who was it he got knocked out by? Lamont Brewster. That's when he started doing it. That's what I heard. Again, people come up with these theories. Not hard work, possibly, or a guy training harder. No, that can't be possible. A guy gets beat and he gets more determined to never get beat again. That can't come into the equation. It's got to be PEDs. A guy gets beat, yeah, that's right, he's going to get PEDs. Not the fact that guys worked hard in the gym and trained hard, and you know, that's what I'm talking about, PEDs. And that's how it can just smear a person's career. And I tell you something, there's so much finger pointing in the sport of boxing, and so much name calling in the sport of boxing, and so much hypocrisy in the sport of boxing. Sometimes it's ridiculous. A man will stick a finger and say, you shouldn't earn this amount of money. And I'll go on about this and I'll rant about it. You shouldn't earn this amount of money as a fighter, and you should earn that money. And the A should earn this, and the B should say it. You're not the manager. You're not the promoter. You're not a trainer. You're just somebody who sits on a couch and pays pay-per-view. But you want to talk about how somebody should earn A or X or A or B, or should earn this or that. If I were to walk into your workplace and start telling you, no, you know what? You're working for £15 an hour. Let's drop that down to £5 an hour. I don't think you're worth that. I don't think you're worth that. Last couple of days, I don't like your performances. I think you should drop down. Oh, dear. So this thing about PEDs is a very sensitive subject. Again, if it's somebody who is, how do you prove somebody's guilty and innocent when a sport is as corrupt as it is? We know the sport is corrupt. And I don't know. I would also suggest anybody listen to this conversation at the moment, please, if you've got Netflix, please check out a movie called Icarus. Check out Icarus. You like to know about PEDs and how PEDs work? Check out Icarus. It's on Netflix at the moment. Check it out. Watch it. I sat down and I got an eyeful. I got an eyeful of what was going on in terms of the Olympic teams and the stuff, how they were put in the system. Absolutely unbelievable. I would like to see Billy Joe versus Golovkin, but don't think that's where they are heading in case this one gets cancelled. Well, let's be honest. Billy Joe Saunders is really not what Golovkin wants. That's going to be a third fight in a row he'll have with the guy he will move. The reason why he didn't knock out Jacobs is because Jacobs moved. I didn't mean he ran, he moved. He's got good footwork. The reason why he didn't knock out Canelo, again, he moved. Good footwork. And now he's going to got the ultimate one with good footwork is Billy Joe Saunders. And he can embarrass him in the process as well. They don't want that fight. They want fights of guys, statics, walking, coming straight line, static, don't move. Oh, 4 good people can move. Brook as well. You know, so anybody can move against Golovkin. He's going to give him problems. Klitschko was never caught, though. Presumed innocence until failing test. There you go. Well, the story of Klitschko is he had his own doctors, didn't he? And he had I'm not suggesting this is the case, but again, the accusations would say Klitschko had a monopoly. He had the judges in his pocket. He had the doctors in his pocket. He basically had everyone in his pocket. How true is that? I don't know. But it'd have to be examined. So yeah. PBK versus Molina on Saturday. Who's PBK? So yeah, those are my thoughts. If he's suspended, then let's move on with. But if he's suspended, does that mean if during his suspension, can he still be suspended and the fight still go ahead? Like, could they suspend him? But what kind of suspension would that be? If they suspended him on Friday, the fight's in May, what kind of suspension is that? All right, Pretty Boy Kelly versus Molina. I don't know. I expect Kelly to win the fight, but Kelly is wide open. We'll see. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. Right. He's suspended just for 2 weeks. That's my point. What kind of a suspension is that? And if he is suspended, if he isn't suspended for a good amount of time and he's guilty and he isn't suspended for a good amount of time, see, to a situation like this with Canelo, because he's a cash cow, NBT said it right. Because he's a cash cow and everybody around knows it, then who's to say the promoter can't stick money to the people that can say yay or nay? Do you know what I mean? The people that can say yay or nay. They can say, you know what? Take this money. Hold this. Listen, this is a $900 million fight. Hold this. Shut your mouth. Let it slide. Announce the guy is innocent, and I'll slip you some money in the back pocket. The sport is corrupt. I'm sorry, but it can happen. And with a fight with so much money on the line, so much money that it can attract. Come on, man. Come on. So if he does get suspended, how long is the suspension for? Can he train during the suspension to be ready for fight night? How does this affect Canelo's preparations? And Golovkin's not getting any younger. As he says, boxing let it slide too many times. I agree. Too many times it's been slid. I mean, there are some well-known fighters out there that you can be absolutely sure in your mindset they're on something. But you also know because they earn so much money, they're untouchables. And so the people that get caught are either people not, or supposedly caught, the people not in the in crowd, or people that bring no money to the sport of boxing. So imagine a guy doesn't make a lot of money in boxing, doesn't sell many tickets. If that person gets caught, yeah, they get the whole thing thrown at them. Not part of the in crowd. See, there you are. There's the example. There we are. We are stamping out drug cheats in boxing. Do it with a major star. Do it with a superstar. And there, you know, how many superstars have been caught with enhancement drugs? Like cash cows. Can somebody rule them off the top of their head for me, please? Imagine if it was a random fighter doing an 8-rounder undercard, banned for years. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad you took the words right out of my mouth. Money talks. Yeah, like Mayweather. He was never suspended, failed numerous tests. We'll talk about AJ later. So I just want to hear people's thoughts. How many, Galen, if you're in the room, I'd love to hear your opinions. How many superstar global fighters do you know that have been caught with PEDs in their system? I'm sure I heard Mike Tyson somewhere I heard him say or utter the words, yeah, I was on drugs and I was on steroids. I swear I heard him say that somewhere. I could be wrong, but I swear I heard him say it. Either it was in his autobiography or he was up on stage or something, and people just said, all right, it's Mike. Do you consider Povetkin a superstar? No, I don't. I don't. Tiger Woods was on PEDs. Really? Yeah, but Tiger Woods ain't injuring nobody, is he? Tiger Woods, I mean, Lance Armstrong was on his bike. Again, it's in the world of boxing, I'm talking. In the world of boxing, name me a superstar of boxing, a real cash cow. So we're talking the likes of like a Joshua and Mayweather, a Golovkin, a Pacquiao, you know, an Oscar De La Hoya, a Muhammad Ali, a Mike Tyson. There you go. Tyson said he was juicing for years. There you go. Eric Morales tested twice, but Eric Morales wasn't a cash cow, was he? I mean, Eric Morales was a legendary fighter, but he's not a cash cow, was he? Bermain Stavern wasn't PED. He was drinking an energy drink for about the 1000th time. He's drinking an energy drink, and the energy drink he drank, the governing body said to him, it's not good for his own health drinking the energy drink because it makes his heart race. He wasn't harming anybody else but himself. That's why he stopped drinking the energy drink. Forget Stavern. Evander Holyfield, yeah, but when did the stuff come out about Holyfield? The big superstars not pay not to get popped. There you go. Back in the day, Evander Holyfield got popped for elevated testosterone and stroke a bit. I know that, and he was a big name, but I don't know. Evander Holyfield, cash cow. Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean the Holyfield was HGH, yeah, but you know what I think it might be as well? That why it might not be as dramatic as today? Social media. Social media. Oh, your point is boxing's corrupt. I get it. So, okay, Holyfield got caught. Okay, Gail, so you know, Holyfield got caught. What did they do with Evander Holyfield? I know they talked about Holyfield getting caught. They talked about, there was a whole load of them. Holyfield, Roy Jones, James Toney, Sugar Shane Mosley. That was 4 fighters, I remember, all around that time. All around that time. Money, different now. Fight value and purses are extreme. There we go. So, if Canelo is caught and made an example of, then Shane Mosley, James Toney, Brandon Rios, Lamont Peterson had their issues. Fernando Vargas as well. Yeah, Vargas. Yeah, that was after he got caught in the De La Hoya fight. I mean, I remember watching that fight live. My God, Vargas looked like he was a middleweight that night. Recently, Luis Neri was suspended in Japan for it's been banned. Japan have banned him for life. James Toney was called. Okay. Let's see, cash cows. Sugar Shane Mosley, was he a cash cow? I wouldn't say he's a cash cow. James Toney, cash cow? I wouldn't say he was a cash cow. Brandon Reyes definitely wasn't a cash cow. Lamont Peterson, not a cash cow. And Vargas wasn't a cash cow. I don't call those guys cash cows. In the middle, Cesar Chavez Jr. Again, I don't call those guys cash cows. Not real big ticket sellers. I'm talking about the real. I'd say the Mosley, the James Toney, the Brandon Rios, the Lamont Peterson. You can all put them all. I'm not talking about skill level here. I'm talking about they're fantastically skilled fighters, Mosley and me. But I don't put them on. I don't put them in the cash cow strap. Like there's that level, the Mosley level, and then there's Oscar De La Hoya, one, Mike Tyson, like a Joshua, big names, real money pullers, pay-per-view stars. What do you think? I'm not talking about any heavyweights. I'm talking Canelo getting suspended. If you want to talk heavyweights, wait until the next show. After this one, we'll be talking AJ and Parker, but not in this show. Iwan Drug Wars and Juice. He killed Apollo Creed for God's sake. Yeah, so what my point is this. In 2018, a major cash cow. Now, if Mayweather got suspended, they wouldn't suspend him because he was making so much money for Las Vegas. Always ask the question, why did Mayweather ever fight outside of Vegas? Why did Mayweather ever fight, like in New York, possibly? Why did he never fight in New York? Fight at Mayweather at the Barclays Center. Why? You ask yourself the question. You got to ask yourself the question. I'm not insinuating anything there, but I'm just saying, why didn't he do that? But like a big cash cow like Mayweather. Imagine someone like Mayweather getting suspended. Can you imagine? Mayorga. But Mayorga, you can put Mayorga in the same category as Mosley and Tony and like Roy Jones. I'd put him up. Roy Jones would be a guy I'd put up there, definitely. He's the next echelon. I think he's the next one up. And Roy, I remember what happened with Roy. Was it for that long Roy stayed out for? Nevada State Commission gave Mayweather a pass for doping. Oh, shit. So that's my point. Joshua looked very suspect to me. A lot of people say the same thing. But they can't. And listen, if someone like Joshua, I'm not asking for this to happen. Far from it. But supposing someone like Joshua got caught and got suspended, could you imagine? Tyson biting Holyfield's ear was a performance in drug. So, how I can't believe that at the highest level of the pound for pound pay-per-view stars have been caught for doping. Not one of them. They've all been clean. That's what you're trying to tell me. And then Canelo comes along. Tyson Fury was suspended for doping. So they say. But nobody knows what really is going on with the Tyson Fury situation. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. You can put it out there, but nobody knows. But when you look at someone like Tyson Fury, just for a second, there we go. When you look at someone like Tyson Fury, does he really look like a guy that was on some sort of PEDs? Really? Really? His body shape? This was a guy, before he fought Klitschko, was a guy that was considered, well, not before Klitschko, because he was getting himself in shape before the Klitschko fight, but he was a guy who was considered uncoordinated and was going to get knocked out and stuffed in 2 rounds by Klitschko. I don't know about that. Love ignoring the facts when it comes to the Furies. I'm not ignoring the facts, but are you suggesting that Tyson was a pay-per-view star? Are you suggesting Tyson Fury was a pay-per-view? Tyson Fury was not a pay-per-view star. Tyson Fury was not a pay-per-view star. I'm sorry. I'm talking about pay-per-view stars. And please, I'm not having any Tyson Fury chatting here. This is Canelo. Yes, prolific. I mean, in the room. Now, again, was Tyson Fury, a pay-per-view star. Zero, zitto, no, nothing. So he doesn't come into that category. I'm talking about a superstar, a pay-per-view, pound-for-pound star. Record-breaking numbers. You're talking a Canelo, you're talking a Pacquiao, you're talking a Mayweather, you're talking a Joshua. I'm talking them kind of name. You're talking to Oscar De La Hoya. That's what I'm talking to you about. Don't one of those guys getting suspended. So that's what I'm talking about. Please. Please. Not interested in talking about Tyson Fury. I'm interested in talking about Canelo, him being suspended, and the possibilities of him being suspended as a pound for pound pay-per-view star. Who pays for Joshua? He's garbage. Well, whoever's going to watch the fight on Saturday night, most people will pay. 80,000 people are paying for Joshua. So 80,000 people are paying for garbage, I guess. Fraser, your logic doesn't make sense. Not many cash cows out there, to be honest. Right, so you're telling me, but my logic is, you're telling me every cash cow that's out there is all clean. That's what you're suggesting to me. If a fighter gets caught using performance-enhancing drugs, how far do you think their records and their previous fights be stripped back to? In other words, should their past wins be scratched from the record? Fraser McGinley says 80,000 clowns. Well, 80,000 people in a room, and you're in that room, and you're going to tell them all that they're clowns. One or two people might be lying, but I think the rest may would question you. To be fair, testing wasn't as strict back then. And how many pay-per-view stars has there actually been? This is my point. So I come back to my point, lead you back to Canelo. In 2018, a pound for pound, a pay-per-view star, a proven pay-per-view star in Canelo, the cash cow, will they, if he's guilty, will they actually punish him? That's the question I ask. I mean, Joe, there are not many cash cows, but the ones they pay that are paid are not. Do you seriously believe they will suspend Canelo? I'm not sure. That's my point. The question is, will they suspend Canelo? Will they suspend Canelo? How many big pay-per-view stars do you know that have been caught and suspended? Again, a lot of names have been reeled off there, but how many of them guys would you say were pay-per-view stars? Right, fight after fight after fight after fight. Name me them. And it's not a color thing. Mayweather, pay-per-view star. Canelo, pay-per-view star. Joshua, pay-per-view star. So, do you know what I mean? Back to back to back. Pay-per-views. So, the conclusion to this is, if they are going to suspend Canelo, it'd be pretty, it'd be an eye-opener. And if they suspend him, how long are they going to suspend him for? And are they going to suspend him to make a point that doping is not accepted in the world of boxing? Or are they going to come up with some, well, it was only a very small trace. It could have been done through eating steak. That's my question. Gail, are you in the room? If you are, I'd like to know your thoughts on that. How many cash cow pay-per-view stars have been suspended? They'll backdate the suspension and say he's already been suspended since the last fight, so he served the time now, or something like that. Yes, Gail. So I'd like to know your thoughts and what you think about this situation with Canelo when they've talked about the history of pay-per-view fighters. No, to my recollection, no cash cow pay-per-view fighter back to back to back has been suspended for PEDs. I can't think of one if you don't count Holyfield or Jones. I don't count Holyfield as a pay-per-view star. I don't. Excellent fighter. I don't consider him a pay-per-view star. People did not. I don't remember back in the day that people sat down and said, I'm going to watch Evander Holyfield fight. They didn't say that. They liked Holyfield fighting, but I don't know how many people sat and said, oh, I'm going to rush home to watch Holyfield fight. No, they'll rush home to watch Tyson fight, and Holyfield had to fight them. You know, I remember the Americans were saying back in the day that he had the sort of things they said about Evander Holyfield. He was too small and he had a personality transplant. Those are the things that in the 90s, the American commentators were saying about Evander Holyfield, one of their own. So there was no way in hell Holyfield was going to be a pay-per-view star. Roy Jones, you probably said, yeah, he could have been. Was Roy Jones a pay-per-view? I'm asking a dumb question. Was Roy Jones a pay-per-view star? Gail, was Roy Jones a pay-per-view star? Can I ask that question? It sounds real dumb now. Was Roy Jones a pay-per-view star? Like, when he was doing all the stuff he was doing and knocking cats out, was he a pay-per-view star? I can't. I only fight I know I've seen Roy. I remember paying to see Roy Jones fight. Pay-per-view was, I think, when he fought. No, maybe. Was the Ruiz fight pay-per-view? I think the Ruiz fight may have been pay-per-view, you know. Yeah, no, that's true. Holyfield was only appreciated far after the fact. Victor Conde thinks Canelo is guilty. Well, he would. Roy Jones was big. Yeah, he was big, but was he pay-per-view? I'm thinking, the Ruiz fight, was that pay-per-view? I'm thinking that pay-per-view fight may have been pay-per-view, you know. I think they should give him two options. Take a limited time ban, or they should adopt the name Canelo Alvaroid. Yes, and Canelo Alvaroid and Alexander Pedvetkin. Yes, Ruiz pay-per-view. Yeah, there you go. So he was a pay. Did he do back-to-back pay-per-views though? Also, England pay-per-view was a pretty new concept. It wasn't mainstream really until fairly recently. Okay. No, hold on. Bruno Tyson was a pay-per-view fight. The second fight was a pay-per-view fight. We're still talking in early 2000s, right? Bruno was world champion, and that was a pay-per-view fight. Holyfield Tyson was a pay-per-view fight. So pay-per-view was not new. England pay-per-view is pretty, that was Roy's biggest pay-per-view. The second was against Trinidad 2000. There you go. Tyson, Prince Naseem Prince Naseem was pay-per-view. Yeah, he was pay-per-view. He didn't get popped with any PDs, did he? And he was knocking cats out left, right, and centre. No, you mentioned anything about that. Jones did 9 pay-per-view totals, one in 1994, the rest in 2000. Total pay-per-view buys for all 9 was okay. Now, what his trio against Tarver were all pay-per-views, and they both on the Jews reportedly. Haha. Okay, let's check this out then. So we use Roy Jones as an example, and would you have called Roy Jones a cash cow then, Gail? Like a Canelo of today, or Oscar De La Hoya, or Mike Tyson, or a Anthony Joshua today? Got any excuses tonight, Roy? Oh, so funny. So that's what I'm saying. Nope. There's my point. There's my point. So their suspension when they pull Roy up about it. That's what I'm saying. There you go. So there's my argument. There's my point there. So we bring it back to 2018 to close this off. Canelo, if Canelo is suspended, then this will be a precedent, wouldn't it, Gail? Or am I talking complete crap here? It'd be a precedent because he'd be a pay-per-view star. Yeah, first Canelo GG fight got 1.3 million. Yeah, but Canelo, that pay-per-view fight Canelo had against Amir Khan would have brought in money. His fight against Liam Smith would have brought in some money, regardless of the people. I would say, yeah, so it would be present. If Canelo gets suspended, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to say, ladies and gentlemen, it would be a first. A cash cow that gets suspended by a governing body, or a governing body or a drug agency. Show them what they could lose. Won't happen though. That's what I'm saying. I'd give them a suspended sentence. So this is my point. Either they'll say he served time or the suspension will start after the fight. If the suspension starts after the fight, that's disgusting. No, that's not on. If he's guilty, he gets suspended there and then. Think about guys in small hall shows across the globe, either fighting in nightclubs or town halls, and they get popped with PEDs. De La Hoya versus Mayweather did 2.4 million pay-per-view buys. Where you go. And De La Hoya never got popped for anything. And Mayweather never got popped for anything. Here's an interesting one. Bernard Hopkins. There's an interesting one. He was undisputed middleweight champion. Would he have been? How many pay-per-view fights was Bernard Hopkins involved in? Remember when Floyd had to serve jail time after the Cotter fight? They held back until after the fight. Yeah. What does suspension mean? 4 months? Who cares? They only fight 1 or 2 times a year anyway. Co-penalized. Mayweather got popped for PDs but never suspended. I've heard different stories. I've heard the thing about the injection in his fist, his hand. I've heard all sorts of stories about Mayweather. I don't know. And I don't know if those stories are fabricated. Because if the man really was cheating or doping, then the question is, that has to be asked, can a person's pay-per-view stardom or status override the law of the land or the law of boxing when it comes to, or is there discrimination with fighters who are non-pay-per-view stars? They're more likely to get caught and done over. That's the question. So, Gail says, Canelo can restore his reputation, voluntarily step away from the bout on May 5th, rescheduled for September, and agree to VADA testing for 6 months before the Nevada State Athletic Board. Batting for 2 years to prove something. De La Hoya was juicing so hard he actually thought cross-dressing was a good idea for a boxer. More of the story, don't juice too much. De La Hoya versus Hopkins pay-per-view in 2004, 1 million pay-per-view buys. It's not fabricated. Floyd failed several doping tests. So there is my point. But he didn't get suspended. Is there discrimination if you are a pay-per-view star and a cash cow? And I don't mean a pay-per-view star meaning one pay-per-view here and another pay-per-view in 10 years' time. I'm talking about a constant pay-per-view star where you're raking in 15, 20 million a fight and you're able to pay off the sanctioning bodies. You're able to pay off the people that can put you and put a screw in your career. That's what I want to know. Floyd got the legal system to delay jail time for a fight, which was for his alleged domestic abuse. If Floyd can do that with the US legal system, Canelo can do it with the boxing governing bodies, in my opinion. There you go. Bernard Hopkins did 8 pay-per-view fights total. None after 2012. De La Hoya fight got the biggest pay-per-view. Hopkins is notoriously clean. The man doesn't even drink soda, sugar, or alcohol. Yes, I've heard that about Hopkins as well. Breaking news, boxing is corrupt. Ruben, yeah, no kidding. Hello, obviously there's a discrimination. It's boxing we're talking about. But now, when you look at it like that, think about this way, boxing fans and people listening tonight. Could we potentially be saying that the top stars, the elite of our sport, could basically be ped using performance-enhancing drugs? The top elite fighters in our sport are pumped with drugs, right? And that's why they're elite, and they are immune from drug tests going against them. Is that a point there? Is that what we're looking at? Gail, are we looking at that? Are we looking at, for example, our Mike Tysons, our Oscar De La Hoyas, our Canelos, our Joshuas? Yeah, Ruben, you're not getting my point. Boxers are juiced at all levels. I don't care about all levels. I'm talking about the elite boxers, because we're talking about Canelo. We're not talking about Joe Bloggs down the road. We're talking about Canelo being suspended. Please put it in perspective. You reckon AJ, Parker, and Wilder are juice heads? Wilder, no, because he's not a pay-per-view star. Parker, no, because he's not a pay-per-view star. And if AJ was, in terms of the examples I've given you, no pay-per-view star, cash cow, is being done for suspended yet in boxing. So AJ, no. Pacquiao, no. Canelo, no. De La Hoya, no. Prince Nassim Hamed, no. Tyson, no. So the question, Gail, is, would it be fair to say that the pay-per-view stars, and when I say pay-per-view, I don't mean one fight. I mean back-to-back-to-back pay-per-views, like how Joshua's done pay-per-views. You know, before he fought Klitschko was a pay-per-view. He fought Dillian White. Then he fought 3 other pay-per-views. He's had 3 or 4 pay-per-view fights. So every fight the person has is a pay-per-view event, right? So Joshua being a pay-per-view star, Canelo, pay-per-view star, Pacquiao, pay-per-view star, Tyson, pay-per-view star. Those guys that we've just mentioned there, are they untouchable gods to the point where, because they're such high earners and make so much money from pay-per-view fights, that they are immortals, and they, even if they were, sorry, let's add Mayweather as well. Got to add Mayweather. But they are immune from any doping tests that would show them to be popping. That's the question. Are they immune? Prince Azim's just started eating them anabolics lately to get big as he is. He just forgot to train alongside the PEDs. Copy line, note to self, don't hire a family member as a trainer. LOL. Yes, stars are untouchable. There we go. So, I agree with your premise to a point, certainly in the past. Well, okay, if you agree with it in the past, and you're not saying you don't agree with it in the present, name me one pay-per-view star, back-to-back-to-back pay-per-view star that has been suspended from boxing from PEDs. Name me one, gal. Today, I think the circumstances have changed. I do believe this would be the most significant suspension in modern boxing history. Agreed. And for that reason, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think so, though. If they actually pop for stars, this would be out in the cold. Canelo's almost out in the cold now for something that is a known issue in Mexico. No one publicly failed, though. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet, but we might be days from it finally happening. If it happened and he does get popped, then the world's elite fighters need to be on standby. Because if it happens, and Canelo would be the first, if the powers that be want to turn the tide, this is the way to do it. Exactly, Gal. That's why I said it's a precedent, and that's why I said that up to this point, every superstar pay-per-view fighter, genuine pay-per-view, you have to have done back-to-back pay-per-views. I don't hear one fight a guy's had and then disappear for 2 years. I'm talking back-to-back pay-per-views. That means that any guy that is top echelon of pay-per-view buys and stuff like that, those guys are immune to boxing authorities. Fury could have been a pay-per-view if he was not suspended. Yeah, could have done. Could have been. But it means he would have had to fight regularly. So it could have been isn't what it is. Fury's not a pay-per-view star. That's it. You can say what you want. He's not a pay-per-view star. What do you think of the British Boxing Board of Control's reaction would be if AJ got popped and he was made public income? Well, we'll talk about AJ in the next video I'm going to do. Richard Dwyer's video on the Canelo situation, Peds in boxing, is very insightful. It's bad, but Joshua will never get caught. That's what I'm saying to you. The Nevada State Athletic Commission could burnish its image and take a stand with a 6-month suspension. It's a temporary financial hit, though, no more. I can't see it lasting damage to the sport. This would be the time to do it. Exactly. The question is why. Yes, Dwyer's video was great. So my point is this. I end by saying this. If Canelo is suspended, he will be the first pay-per-view star in the history of boxing that will have been suspended. Cash cow being suspended from boxing for using PEDs. That would be a first, and that would be historic. And it would be a game changer in the world of boxing. And I'm afraid to say, if that happens, who the hell wants to see Golovkin versus Golovkin versus Canelo? Nobody. Why do you want to see a drug cheat fight Golovkin? Apart from to knock him out. That's what people would say. And if Canelo were to win, drug cheat. So Canelo's career, if this happens, Canelo's career is done. But Canelo's career is done anyway. Because there are people already pointing the finger who've not been in a laboratory who say he's a drug cheat. So, and you can't rub that out of people's minds. You can't. So that's it for me. I think in terms of this particular situation, my thoughts on Canelo, whether he gets suspended, if he gets suspended, so what? Bring on Billy Joe Saunders. Let's get an undisputed middleweight champion. And let's stop all the in-betweens. I hope the two camps are negotiating now. Frank Warren and Tom Loeffler, I hope they're meeting and they're talking about making a huge fight in the summer. And it'd be great to have Golovkin back in the UK fighting at Wembley or the O2 Arena. Golovkin, Saunders, O2 Arena or Wembley. That would be a great fight. I think it'd be great. Right, that's it. When I come back, we'll be talking AJ versus Parker. My thoughts. Standing Cancer NSAC. It's just one body. As long as you've got WBC coming out like dog out of a race trap into support of Canelo, this problem will never go away. I think only the hardcores care about this. Canelo's rep will quickly rebuild with the casuals. Yeah, possibly. Right, I'm out. Stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell in the corner where the subscribe button is. I'll be back. Thank you, Ingram, for a worthy discussion. Thank you. I'll be back for AJ versus Parker. Should be very lively. I'm sure that the views will, the numbers watching will go crazy once it's AJ versus Parker. So I'll be back shortly. I'll be doing a show in literally 5 minutes. I'm just going to change this over to AJ versus Parker. All right. So 5 minutes. See you in 5 minutes.